All right. In accordance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231 PL 1975, notice of this meeting was posted on the bulletin board designed for that purpose, and notice was transmitted to the official newspapers provided by resolution adopted January 6, 2024. Meeting notice has also been continuously posted on the Borough website. May I have a roll call?
Yes, Mayor. Council President Morgan?
Here.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Here.
Councilman Otteson?
Here.
Councilwoman Russo?
Here.
Councilman Pagan?
Here.
Councilwoman Harron?
Here.
And Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. Please be seated. I'll now open it for public comment on agenda items only. That's public comment on agenda items only. Please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Not seeing any public comment on the agenda items. We'll close that portion. We'll move into the caucus work session. Not seeing any caucus work session items. We'll move into a proclamation declaring the first Friday in June to be a National Gun Violence Awareness Day. Fortunately, no one is here tonight. Oh, you are? Okay, someone is here. That's wonderful. Okay.
Yay.
Would you like to join me at the microphone right here? I'll present the proclamation to you.
Yeah.
You are, by the way?
I'm Kathy Remza.
Kathy, pleasure. So this is a proclamation declares that first Friday in June to be National Gun Violence Awareness Day in Haddon Heights, to honor and remember all victims and survivors of gun violence, and to declare that we as a country must do more to end this public health crisis. Whereas every day, 120 Americans are killed by gun violence and more than 200 are shot and wounded, with an average of nearly 1,800 gun homicides every year. And whereas Americans are 26 times more likely to die by gun homicide than people in other high-income countries, and whereas New Jersey has 427 gun deaths every year with a rate of 4.8 deaths per 100,000 people, a crisis that costs the state $5.3 billion each year, of which $168.5 million is paid by the taxpayers. New Jersey has the 5th lowest rate of gun deaths in the U.S., and whereas gun homicides and assaults are concentrated in cities, with more than half of all firearm-related gun deaths in the nation occurring in 127 cities, and whereas cities across the nation, including in Haddon Heights, are working to end the senseless violence with evidence-based solutions, and whereas protecting public safety in the communities they serve is mayor's highest responsibility, and whereas support for the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens goes hand in hand with keeping guns away from people with dangerous histories, and whereas mayors and law enforcement officers, in partnership with local violence intervention activists and resources, know their communities best and are the most familiar in local criminal activity and how to address it, in the best position to understand how to keep their citizens safe. And whereas gun violence prevention is more important than ever, as we see an increase in firearm homicides and non-fatal shootings across the country, increased calls to domestic violence hotlines, and increases in city gun violence. Whereas in January 2013, Hadia Pendleton was tragically shot and killed at age 15 on June 7, 2024. To recognize the 27th birthday of Ms. Pendleton, born June 2, 1997, people across the United States will recognize National Gun Violence Awareness Day and wear orange in tribute to Ms. Pendleton and other victims of gun violence and loved ones of those victims. Whereas the idea was inspired by a group of her friends who asked their classmates to commemorate her life by wearing orange. They chose this color because hunters wear orange to announce themselves to other hunters when out of the woods. And orange is a color that symbolizes the value of human life. And whereas anyone can join this campaign by pledging to wear orange on June 7th, this first Friday in June in 2024, to help raise awareness about gun violence. And whereas by wearing orange on June 7th, 2024, Americans will raise awareness about gun violence and honor the lives of gun violence victims and survivors. And whereas we renew our commitment to reduce gun violence and pledge to do all we can to keep firearms out of the hands of people who should not have access to them, and encourage responsible gun ownership to to help keep our families and our communities safe. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Haddon Heights, New Jersey declares June 7th, 2024 to be National Gun Violence Awareness Day. The Mayor and Borough Council encourage all citizens to support their local communities' efforts to prevent the tragic effects of gun violence and to honor the value of human lives. Thank you for attending tonight and bringing this to our attention. And again, as a community that has, unfortunately, in the course of the last several decades, experienced gun violence, and we lost two officers tragically to gun violence here in our own town. So this is a really important initiative, and we are so thankful that you brought it to our attention, you and your group, and we are happy to honor you.
Yeah, on behalf of Moms Demand Action and everybody, and everywhere, I appreciate and say thanks for you doing this.
Of course.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
For you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yes.
of course.
Could you go with my camera too in a little bit? Right next to you.
I will try.
Okay, I'll just get for
You
you.
want to grab it? Yeah. Right here. Sure. It's horrible to talk. Oh, that was wrong.
Anybody else want their picture with the mayor?
All right, I'll get
Nobody else being
This
honored.
way. Yes.
Only if there's AI involved. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yep, of
Thank
course.
you.
Thank you so much.
How are you in it? Sorry.
All right.
All right. So moving on to the approval of the minutes of the May 7th, 2024 business meeting. May I have a motion to approve the minutes, the May 7th, 2024 business meeting?
Hagan, so moved.
Motion by Councilman Pagan. May I have a second?
Russo, second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Russo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained?
Abstain.
An abstention by Councilwoman Phillips. Next, we'll look for the approval of the executive session minutes of the April 16th, 2024 business meeting and the May 7th, 2024 work session. May I have let me ask for a motion for the approval of the executive session minutes of the April 16th, 2024 business meeting. Motion by Councilman Odison. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Pagan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions?
Abstain.
Yeah, abstain.
Councilwoman Russo and Councilwoman Phillips abstained. Next, I look for the approval of the executive session minutes for the May 7th, 2024 work session. I have a motion for those. Motion by Councilwoman Harron. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Pagan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain?
Abstain.
Abstention by Councilman Phillips. All right, next we'll move into council member reports. Starting at the end, Councilwoman Harron.
So we have the DCA grant. Hoffs Park has accessible equipment schematics under review with the Parks and Rec Committee. And once those are approved, we can work with the Bach Associates team to place the order and schedule the installation. I want to formally thank the new director, Scott Trainer, deputy director.
Bring your wife right now.
Down more. Right up next to it. Yeah. Deputy Director Ashley Pagan, as well as Assistant County Engineer Anthony O'Toole from the County Department of Parks and Recreation for repainting the cannons in time for our Memorial Day ceremonies. I know it makes a big difference. They look fantastic, and we really thank them and you, Kelly, for pushing for that too, to get done in time. We are getting prepared for Memorial Day ceremonies on Monday, and they will kick off 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock at the Sons of Italy, and
Sounds about
followed by the parade, 10:30?
I think it's a little earlier than that. But it's
10
10
and
11?
it's 10 and then 11
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
at the cannons, right? So we're looking forward to everyone joining us there, the Sons of Italy, and following with the parade and then the ceremonies at the cannons at 11. And July 4th celebration planning is well underway. We have quite a few bands, dance groups, community groups, attendees, and are looking for more. So if anybody has any other groups, community groups are interested in joining, sign them up. That's all I have for now.
Wonderful. Thank you, Councilwoman Harron. Councilwoman Russo?
Thanks, Mayor. Quick report. So the Engineers Committee met at the end of April. We were talking through the design plans that Bach Associates had developed for Garden Street from First to Second Avenue, which is right outside the high school. So the game plan is to hopefully have those ready for construction immediately after the end of school. So that way that can happen while school is out of session, so not to be so disruptive. And other than that, I think that's it for right now in terms of the bigger news. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Otteson?
Okay, police traveled 253,590 3 miles last month at 1,172 calls for service, 24 arrests, 14 accidents, 23 motor vehicles, and then also Officer Potty was honored for her good work in solving the white collar crime and chasing down somebody who stole money. Rarely happens, so really happy to see that. Thank her for her hard work with that. On Shade Tree, we thank our DPW. They planned, we had 50 plus trees. They've got 40 in the ground for us. Some really they didn't fit anywhere. And then last night, people on the committee and myself planted another 13, so they're all in the ground. So we got one straight to do tomorrow. So that worked out pretty nice. I got a nice thank you card. We had planted 2 trees, in the cabins, and Rose Fitzgerald made a contribution of $100 to the town for the chief. She's sending us thank you. On the environmental commission, David McCollum's working hard to get the bronze award for 6 years since he put the bronze on that. On Devon Avenue, there was concern about some arsenic for testing, so that's going to solve that. Heights Grows did the trade out of all the flowers and worked hard to weed and kind of for the summer. On the issue of the fountain, we brought that up last time. There's a movement away from doing a planner and keeping it out. So I think what we're going to do is keep the one running now, and then we're going to do some kind of fundraiser for the place in the next year. And then I want to make a special note to honor all veterans.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Otteson. Council President Morgan?
Thank you, Mayor. Just briefly, a few weeks ago, the mayor and I met down at Devon Avenue Fields, the soccer fields, with members of the soccer club and the Board of Education, or not the board themselves, but the school board, the school district, to discuss the conditions of the fields and issues as far as maintenance were discussed and addressed, and there was concerns about the condition of the fields at this point. So we've got a plan for ongoing maintenance and hopefully to keep the fields in better shape than they've been in the past years, which was the impetus for going into the tri-party agreement in the first place. So it was a productive meeting, and I think the parties are intending to meet more frequently in the future, so as to avoid any uncertainties or any issues in the future. Other than that, I just wanted to say thanks for all those who pushed the proclamation for the Gun Violence Awareness Month in Heights. It's a very important issue, and I hope that all the residents take note of it and continue to take the issue seriously. So, thank you.
Thank you, Council President. Councilwoman Phillips?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I have the fire report for March 2024. There were 13 calls in Haddon Heights, 16 calls in Barrington, 5 calls to mutual aid, 12 calls to the highways, for a total of 46 calls, an average of 5 firefighters per call. So we thank the fire department for their continued good work. At Rhythm and Brews this past weekend on Saturday, I had the opportunity to meet our canine, Luna. who's a beautiful dog. And it's my understanding Luna's doing amazing with her training and should be done in just a couple weeks. Sergeant Selby is doing a wonderful job with Luna. I also collected all of the trading cards that are now available for every single one of our officers. So that's exciting. Chief, yours is great. I won't put it on the screen, but everyone should get them. I think they'll be handed out at different events throughout the summer. And thank you to HIP for a great job on Rhythm and Brews. Thank you for our police department. Thank you to the DPW for their efforts with the event. Unfortunately, it was raining, but there was still a very good turnout. And because Councilwoman Herron mentioned it a little bit with respect to the cannons painting, the county has a huge initiative called Parks Alive this year, and they're doing a ton of work to the parks in town. I don't know if anyone's seen the new pedestrian bridges that are beautiful. They're accessible. My son, who's in a wheelchair, used to have to be helped over the bridges, and now he can go on them himself, so he's thrilled. There's also some work being done at the Dell. I think they're putting in restrooms. They're putting in a picnic pavilion. They're doing trail and drainage improvements. So all of these investments by the county really improve our town for all of our residents. So I'm thrilled to see them. It looks beautiful. And last but not least, I want to thank my fellow council members and the mayor for picking up my slack the last 7 weeks while I was on maternity leave. So I appreciate you all.
Worked hard not to.
Yeah, thanks. Howard, especially you.
Thank you.
Oh, and the staff. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Phillips. Councilman Pagan.
Nothing to report, Mayor.
Okay. Nothing. Mayor's report. I want to echo the accolades, I think, regarding HIP and their Rhythm and Brews Festival this weekend, which was a huge hit. I also do want to highlight, Chief, and I don't know if this got to your attention, a resident reached out. There was a small, I think somebody was injured at the event, and they expressed gratitude to your officers, their timely response, and handling the medical incident out there. So huge accolades for those officers that were out there. I saw Graham, Selby, and Teddy Hagenbush, and I'm sure you had more on the street out there as well, but always good to hear positive report. With that, I look forward to Memorial Day. It's a great event to honor our veterans. We do. The Sons of Italy host a lovely event up at the VFW or the American Legion post where the World War I Memorial is, followed by our VFW hosting the event at the Cannons. I encourage everybody to come out and attend. It's a great day, and it's a great tradition to honor our veterans. We have so many here in Haddon Heights. And I want to thank the county for all of the hard work that they're doing here in Haddon Heights, specifically with the cannons in a timely fashion, getting them painted, the work in the parks. I encourage you as people to be patient with the work. As always, I know it can be disruptive, or people may be confused on why perhaps the cannons were painted brown. But again, there's a method to their madness, and it was a primer. Yep. Yeah. No. So of course, but like I said, it's just they're gray already. Yep. Yeah. Facebook couldn't keep up, so that was all. And obviously, you hear the first responders out there responding to a reported fire in Barrington. But I know today our fire department was down in Gloucester City, lending a hand to the port emergency. So accolades to our fire department once again for the mutual aid that they lend to our neighboring towns. With that, I have nothing else in the mayor's report. Unfinished business. We have public hearing and final adoption of ordinance 2024-1547, an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget cost of living allowance and to establish a cap bank and JSA 40A:4-45.14. May I have a motion to open the public hearing portion of ordinance 2024-1547?
Russo?
Motion by Councilman Russo, and I heard a second by Council President Morgan. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Public hearing portion is now open for ordinance 2024-1547. If you'd like to make a comment on that ordinance, please step up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Not seeing any public comment. May I have a motion to close the public comment portion? Ordinance 2024-1547. Motion by Councilman Pagan, Pagan? Sorry.
Offer.
Second.
May I have a second? Seconded by Councilman Phillips. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Thank you. And now may I have a motion for adoption of ordinance 2024-1547, ordinance to exceed the municipal budget cost of living allowance and to establish a cap bank.
So moved.
Motion by Council President Morgan. May I have a second?
Russo, second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Russo. May I have a roll call vote?
Yes, Mayor. Council President Morgan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Yes.
Councilman Otteson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Pagan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harron?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll move into new business. We have introduction of ordinance 2024-1548, an ordinance of the Borough of Haddon Heights, County of Camden, State of New Jersey, establishing new chapter 152 entitled Lead-Based Paint. And the public hearing and final adoption is scheduled for Wednesday, June 5th, 2024 at approximately 7 p.m. here in the municipal building located at 625 Station Avenue, Haddon Heights, New Jersey. I have a motion to introduce ordinance 2024-1548.
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Pagan. May I have a second? Second by Councilman Harron. May I have a roll call vote?
It's Council President Morgan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Yes.
Councilman Otteson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Pagan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harron?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And again, public hearing and final adoption is at our next meeting scheduled for Wednesday, June 5th, 2024 at approximately 7 p.m. in the municipal. Wednesday, June 5th is primary day. Thank you. Wednesday, June 5th, 2024 at approximately 7 p.m. in the municipal building located at 625 Station Ave, Haddon Heights, New Jersey. Next, we have resolutions 2024-110, resolution approving change order number 1 for the fiscal year 2023 Camden County Open Space Improvements at Fitzgerald Memorial Park. Resolution 2024-111, resolution authorizing the award of a contract for Haddon Heights Library interior improvements to Cavi Construction LLC. Resolution 2024-112, resolution authorizing payment of bills and claims for the second half of May. Resolution 2024-113, a resolution providing for a meeting not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12, a matter related to rental registration ordinance. Discussion is expected to be about a half hour in duration. Formal action may be taken on the foregoing item following executive session. Finally, Resolution 2024-114, a resolution authorizing the award of a non-fair and open contract for a special solicitor for labor and employment matters. May I have a motion for those resolutions, please? Motion by Councilman Otteson. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Pagan. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes, Mayor. Council President Morgan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Phillips?
Yes.
Councilman Otteson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Pagan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Harron?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now open it for public comment. That's public comment on anything at all. You please step up to the microphone. Just state your name and address for the record.
How you doing, Mayor? Brian Shute. My address is 239 Richards Avenue. I do live in Barrington. I was born and raised here in Haddon Heights. I now reside in Barrington, but Haddon Heights is a huge part of my business. I pride myself on safety and quality work at a fair price. And I just want to continue working in Haddon Heights without causing any issues. And I'm hoping that you guys can help me find some answers. For anyone that doesn't know why I'm here, I was working in the 200 block of 9th Avenue last week. It was about 8:15 a.m. I was approached by a gentleman that works for Camden County, and he advised me that he was there to shut my job site down because I did not apply for a road permit. I've been doing tree work in South Jersey since 1996. I know nothing about a road permit. Apparently, if you work on a county road, you have to apply for a road permit. I asked the gentleman what the permit would cost, if it was a free permit. He had no idea how much it cost. So I did make some phone calls and was told that the permit is $1,200 for the permit application fee, and that is $200 additional per day to park your truck on a county road. And as all you guys know, there's quite a few county roads in Haddon Heights. I wanted to come to the council meeting tomorrow because I don't want any issues with the county or the town or, the police department here. I try to, always work in a safe manner and have my road cones and safety signs out. I do a ton of work in Haddon Heights, and I don't think it's fair to the residents of Haddon Heights that live on a county road to endure some kind of fee, because obviously if, for instance, the job we did on Friday was a $1,000 job. So if I got to pay $1,200 for a county permit and then $200 to park my truck, it's not fair to the residents of the town. And obviously I don't, the guy basically told me that he wasn't going to find me that day, but he pretty much was bragging that he just fined another contractor 2 days prior. And I said, did that guy even know about anything about a road permit? And he said no. So, I mean, the guy seemed like he was taking joy in, finding contractors working on county roads. And I got quite a few friends that are contractors, and couldn't be any more upset about the whole situation.
So, Mr. Shute, first and foremost, you do a lot of work, and we see you in town. You're one of the few tree service companies that I know upholds our shade tree ordinance thoroughly. The first thing you always ask is, did you talk to shade tree before you touch any tree on our curb strips? In this case, it was a tree on the shade tree area, but I did follow up right away. A couple neighbors actually who I had ran into later that day told me about the situation. I had reached out. I spoke to Deputy County Administrator Dominic Vesper today. He is unaware of a situation where we would have had where they would charge for a tree vehicle parked on the roadway chipping part of the tree. And I explained to him the same logic that you just explained to us, with the notion that you would now have to pass that cost along to any resident who lives on our county roads. And we have a number of county roads. I agree 100%. And Dominic agreed as well. So he's going to look into it. He's going to speak with Bob Harris, who oversees that general department, and get to the bottom of this. And then hopefully I'll have an answer. But he first and foremost said, don't pay anything. He said, don't pay anything, and let him get to the bottom of it first.
Mayor, just to let you know, Bob Harris and his wife Patty live on my street. They live about eight houses from me on Richards Avenue. I did put a call in to speak with Mr. Harris on Friday, and my phone call was returned by a gentleman named Brian Eisen. I apologize if the pronunciation's wrong. Eisen, and that's where I got all these facts and figures from. The gentleman that stopped during the day on Friday, his name is Justin DeMarco. And that's the gentleman that told me that he was going to shut the job site down and that I had to leave, and that he was the one that was kind of, the way I took it, bragging that he had just fined another contractor $1,000, and he told me that's where the fines start at too.
And listen, the challenge is too, and we know this firsthand. You've worked extensively on the shade tree, and Tom, I want to say, but you deal from the DPW end, is that our DPW is the one that has to handle most of the trees on our county roads anyway, because the county won't come out and cut them down. So it's illogical it doesn't make sense. So we will get to the bottom of this. And again, I appreciate all the good work you do in Haddon Heights, and I assure you we will get to the bottom of this, and we'll get it addressed as soon as possible. Just not only for you, but for the residents.
Mayor, on my schedule for tomorrow, I'm going to be on a county road. So do you think I should reschedule that job, or do you think I'll be okay?
I should have an answer for you tonight, if not first thing tomorrow morning.
My phone's always on.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I need to reschedule or pull the plug, just please let me know. Like I said, I'm not looking here to cause any trouble, and I don't want any problems in town. We actually just did a job for the town. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was over on New Jersey Avenue. It was a problematic tree. We took care of that, and all the residents were tickled pink with what we did over there. So,
Let me follow up with it, but I'll get an answer for you first thing tomorrow morning at the latest.
Also wanted to add, as a business owner, to try to deal with the DPW, Sean Logan is 110% aces to deal with. I've reached out to him on several different trees where we had calls, and he's always responsive. They just did a job on 10th Avenue at Tim Daly's house yesterday. Tim had reached out to me and had damaged his house and cars on quite a few occasions. And yeah, they got out there in a timely fashion and took care of that. So just wanted to let you know.
They've been real good.
Yeah. So, all righty. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any other public comment? All right. Not seeing any. May I have actually, we'll recess into executive session. I forgot we have one item. So just to ask everyone to vacate the chamber just so we can conduct our executive session. It'll take about 10 minutes, I'm thinking, right? At tops at this, and then we'll be back in here.
Mayor, we're back on the record.
Motion to have executive session? Motion by Councilman Page, and a second? Second by Council President Morgan, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? All right, motion, not seeing anything to act on, and a motion to adjourn? Motion by Councilman Russo, and a second? Second by Councilman Addison, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? Thank you. Uh,